Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Before we get to public session, I'm going to take just a few moments to read something that we're going to be putting out later tonight after the meeting is over. The district recently heard concerns from the music community about the plan to expand the weight room into the grades 7 and 8 band practice room and create an improved grades 7-12 band practice room. Updates that are proposed as part of the December 3rd capital project vote. After careful consideration of the input that was received, the board has decided to keep the grades 7 and 8 band practice room in its existing location and move the proposed fitness center to the available space that was formerly used as the middle school media center. All students in grades 7 to 12 currently utilize the media center in the senior high school. While there was a plan to consolidate the band rooms, there was never any consideration to reduce any aspects of the music program or to consolidate the bands. After careful consideration, we have decided to as we said, relocate that fitness center to the social media center. This will allow the existing band rooms to stay in their existing locations unless an alternative larger space could be found. This project has never been about athletics versus the arts. The project has been about safety. In addition to our athletic fields, the project includes a new PA system, phone system, which is desperately needed to provide a safe and secure educational environment. Additionally, this project will address overdue infrastructure needs that are described on the website. We are a small school. We are committed to having a well-rounded program for all of our students. It is expected that our students have the opportunity to participate in the arts and athletics if they choose. We are one of the only schools in Ulster County that provides instruments to our students at no charge whatsoever. As far as the concerns about latex and safety issues in regards to the turf field, artificial turf fields have been extensively studied, and on April 16, 2024, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry released the synthetic turf field recycled tire crumb rubber characterization research final report, Part 2, tire crumb rubber exposure characterization. The findings from that study, the largest ever conducted in the United States on this topic, adds to the growing body of evidence that confirms that crumb rubber infill is safe and crumb rubber turf fields are as safe as natural grass fields. This information is also provided on the website. We are fortunate to have many local districts move forward with artificial turf fields as well. This allows us to speak to our neighboring districts and regarding the pros and cons of their installation, as well as details regarding the materials used for the field. Currently, Roundout, Pine Bush, Eldred, Middletown, Rhinebeck, Highland, FDR, Kingston, Highland Falls, and others play on turf fields, and to date, there have been no issues that have been found on these fields that we are currently aware of. And for those of you that want, Mr. Matt Solomoni has some information that you guys could pick up on your way out and read at your leisure as well in regards to the turf field applications in regards to allergies or potential toxic substances or carcinogens as well. With that in mind, I will open it up to public forum. Before I get that, I just want to ask for a motion to accept to the minutes of the October 22nd, 2024 meeting.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Public forum for this evening. You have 3 minutes. Call up to the podium Mary Sosa. Reference the capital project. Sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong. Souza.
Excuse me.
Hold on one second, it's not on.
I want to make sure the microphone's on.
I think so. Yep. That should do it. Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
So, members of the board, Superintendent Wiles, and fellow members of our community, my name is Mary Souza. I'm a parent, a resident of Allenville, and an educator. I have 3 children in our school system, 2 in 7th grade and 1 in 6th. My children are scholars, musicians, athletes, and artists. I've had countless positive interactions with the dedicated teaching and support staff here at our schools, and I truly care for and deeply respect the amazing educators that my kids have been blessed to work with and learn from. I share this to emphasize that I place great value on all aspects of our programs and facilities. I had intended to go on to speak about how I could not support a capital project that did not support both athletic and arts and put them on an even playing field. I did hear before I planned to attend tonight's meeting that this had been revised, and I decided to keep my schedule for the evening to thank you for being responsive to the fact that many of us were concerned about our arts programs being as valued as our athletics programs. Thank you for listening to us, and thank you for making revisions.
You're welcome. Call to the podium Heidi Scheck, Capital Project, reference latex. I know I probably butchered your name too. Okay.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for having me here tonight and for having everybody who wants to say anything to you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I know you've addressed some of the latex issues, but I just wanted to say in less than 3 minutes what I had written down. My concern with the capital project is the infill for the proposed artificial turf field. My daughter and some other students in the elementary and the junior and senior high have a natural rubber latex allergy. Any exposure to latex or natural rubber, because it's made from latex, causes reactions and or progresses their allergy, making all future contact more dangerous with each exposure. I want these students to be able to play sports here and graduate on the field. I'm asking that whenever the turf is installed, that it be infilled with a natural material or a synthetic that has been tested to prove that is indeed completely latex free. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jesse, excuse me. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, could I request that we ask the design team to do a cost-benefit analysis on the option of an alternative to the rubber/latex fill?
We will bring that to their attention.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they're on it. We're
All right.
talking about it now.
Thank you.
Jesse Marks.
Good evening.
Oh, you're up there already.
You guys can hear me well? You can hear me? No? Hear me now? Good evening, board members, Superintendent Wiles, and the Ellenville community. My name is Jesse Marks. I'm a parent of a 7th grader and a 5th grader. Both of my children have participated in youth sports since the preschool age. They've taken advantage of the programs that we offer for youth sports. We have great programs here. My daughter took up an interest in field hockey. She's in 5th grade. In order for her to attend field hockey, we either have to travel to Kingston or Rondout. Fortunately, in my family's financial situation, we can. However, there's a community of children that can't due to their financial situation. Everyone in our community should be provided the same opportunity. The improvements proposed would allow for opportunities for such sports as field hockey to be brought to our community. Another important aspect of this is the ADA improvements. Unfortunately, my son broke his foot playing football at practice this fall. It was nearly impossible for him to access the football field from the junior high school. Every student and their family members should have the opportunity to attend sporting events at our school. Lastly, but in my opinion the most important part of this project, is the safety improvements. My children and their friends deserve to attend a school safe from a crumbling infrastructure. They should be able to hear important announcements on the PA system at all times. And they should be able to learn in a comfortable environment free of drafty windows and doors. Everyone should take a look at this proposal and ask themselves this: is our child worth it? Is our community worth it? In my opinion, the answer is yes. And so is theirs.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Heather Butterfield.
Unfortunately, I did not create some really nice things. This was actually a last-minute moment for me. I work a lot. My biggest concern is I don't know if everything's up to date on the website regarding what you guys are doing with the capital project, but the pool. You guys had put information about how updating the pool and all the stuff around it. the students don't use the pool for school academics. We don't have a pool program. It's used for summer programs and for the community during the summer. I think that if we are going to put money into this, then this should be something that should be included in our academic program.
I'm going to have the superintendent address that.
So the pool has been a source of much discussion here over the last probably 50 years, but 28 years that I can remember. And while we do not have a summer, or excuse me, while we don't have a swimming program because it's an outdoor pool,
Yeah.
we do own the pool. And the pool is leased by the town of Awarsing, and back in the day, it was the town and the village. And there's consensus in the community that it's important that there's a pool for students to access, especially for the summer camp. And without that pool, our children of the community would have to travel to Crohangston or another county pool. So there's been a commitment of all of the town, the village, and the school to work collaboratively to keep the pool open in the summer. So what's happened with the pool, I want to first say that the town of Awarsing just got a pretty big swims grant to really work on the guts of the pool, right? So the pool, they move forward with the grant, which my understanding is they're going to. They're really going to make some design issues to the pool that's not going to cost the local taxpayers, any money, so to speak. There's in-kind contributions that the town's going to have to make. Yeah. When we started having discussions about this grant that was available, we talked about the pool house. So if you look on the website and you look at the pictures of the pool house is in desperate shape, right? We are band-aiding it together, and it's not going to be for much longer. We're going to be able to safely utilize that building. So the discussion with the town of Awarsing was that apply for the grant, try to put money into the grant to refurbish the pool. And while you're doing it, let's move the pool house to the other side of the pool because it abuts the parking lot. Move it to the other side and let's have it become a multi-purpose building with bathrooms so that when we have events outside, not only can the town of Awarsing use it in the summertime, right, but we could use it as a, quote, concession stand and bathrooms for the community. So no more porta potties out there. So we tried to collaborate. Unfortunately, when they got the grant back, there wasn't enough money to put a building up. So while we were putting this capital project together, so that we have something in the community for the community, and especially in the summertime for the kids, we put a building up that could double as a multi-purpose room that could be used for lifeguard training by the town when they lease and when they lease it, just full disclosure, we don't charge them to lease it, right? They lease it so that we have an intermunicipal agreement. So we have that so that our kids can have something in the summertime, right? And then we'll be able to get rid of that dilapidated tower that we have that needs to come down, and we can have a much more safe concession stand and bathrooms for the community. So that is the purpose of the pool. We don't use the pool, and we're not going to get much aid for that building because it's not used, but there is a desperate need to have something down in that area, not only for the town and the summer program, but also for our kids and our community for the use of the back of the school.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Did I
That
get
was
that?
my
Yeah, you got that, yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
I don't think I missed
And-
anything on it.
That was it.
but-
That was my only
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
you.
Thank you for coming. That concludes tonight's public forum. We'll move on to our regular agenda. Call to the podium Mrs. Kelly White, talk about grades 3 through 8 and the 23-24 assessment results with some exciting news.
Good evening. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Kelly White, and I am the Deputy Superintendent for Ellenville Central Schools. I proudly served the district since 2015, and over these past 9 years have developed a deep love for this district, our students, and the community as a whole. We truly are a gem nestled in the valley. My purpose this evening is to highlight the progress and celebrate the growth the district has made in grades 3 through 8 math and ELA, and to share our plan for continue this forward momentum. Our agenda for tonight's presentation will include an overview of the New York State Assessment Program, a review of historical performance data for grades 3 through 8 math and ELA, a look into our 2024 grades 3 through 8 math and ELA results, and the initiatives that are driving our growth. We will close out with highlighting some additional points of pride for the district. Before we get into the assessment results, I want to provide a brief overview of the New York State Assessment Program, which is the state's standardized testing system used to evaluate student achievement and school performance across the state. The State Education Department requires schools to administer exams in grades 3 through 8 in English and math, which will be the focus of this presentation. State assessments must also be administered in grades 5 and 8 science, and high school students must participate in various Regents exams associated with different courses. These exams serve several important purposes. They measure individual student progress towards meeting New York State learning standards. They identify the areas where a school district is performing well and the areas that need additional support, and serve as one of the components the State Education Department uses in their formula to determine the accountability rating of a school district. When schools report results on the grades 3 through 8 assessments, you often hear the term proficiency. Proficiency is defined as the combined number of students earning a level 3 or 4 on the assessments, meaning the students who are meeting or exceeding grade level standards. This chart shows proficiency levels from the grades 3 through 8 math and ELA assessments for the past 6 years. There are a few different ways this data can be looked at, and a few things that need to be considered when comparing our current proficiency rate to years past. In 2019, the proficiency rate for math was 26% and 24% for ELA. The following year, 2020, there were no assessments due to the COVID shutdown. When schools had a hybrid reopening in 2021, testing resumed, but the assessments were modified and students prepared for the assessments using a number of the exact reading passages and questions on the actual ELA assessment, which contributes to the inflated results you see for ELA in 2021. When schools fully reopened in 2022, the proficiency rate for math declined significantly from 2019 to 16% and rose slightly to 25% in ELA. The years 2019 to 2022 represent data from the Common Core state assessments, which phased out at the end of the 2022 school year. Starting in 2023, students were assessed using the state's new assessments aligned with the next generation learning standards. New York State has advised school districts not to compare the results from 2023 and beyond with the Common Core assessment results. In 2023, under the new assessments, our math proficiency rate was 22% and 21% for ELA. We were thrilled when the 2024 results were released and we saw a significant increase in math and ELA proficiency. As you can see in the chart, our proficiency rates for both assessments increased by 8 percentage points. This data only represents students who attend school on our campus. I share this because depending on the report you read, proficiency rates can slightly vary when students from Ellenville who attend out-of-district placements are calculated into results. So for example, if you were to go on the New York State Education website, it would indicate 29% proficiency rate for math, but that calculation includes students who are placed outside of the district. We're now going to dive into the 2024 math results. This chart compares the math proficiency rates of students in grades 3 through 8 in 2023, represented by the blue bars, to the proficiency rates of students in grades 3 through 8 in 2024, represented by the golden bars. As outlined in the chart, notable growth was made in multiple grade levels, and some of the more significant gains were seen in grade 5, where proficiency increased by 8 points from 33% to 41%. In grade 6, we saw a 15-point increase where rates increased from 25 to 43, or 28 to 43%. And in grade 8, we saw proficiency increase by 13 points, rising from 8% to 21%. I also want to point out that for grades 5 and 6, the proficiency rates are within 8 points of the New York State average for grades 5 and 6 math. Another way the district monitors growth is by tracking the proficiency rate of students as they move from one grade level to the next. This chart compares the proficiency rate of students in 2023 to that same group of students in 2024. Looking at the data this way allows us to get a better measure of how performance academic gaps are changing with cohorts of students. So to explain what I mean by this, if you look at the transition of students, the students that were in grade 4 in 2023, and that same group of students, when they entered grade 5, they left grade 4 with only 18% of those students being proficient in math, and by the end of grade 5, 41% of those students were proficient in math. We saw another notable gain for grades 5 to 6. So when students left grade 5, only 33% of them were proficient, but by the end of grade 6, 43% of those students were proficient. Lastly, related to math, while the state only reports out on proficiency, so again, that's your level 3 and 4 students, we also consider the overall growth students have made. Just because a student has not yet reached proficiency does not mean they're not growing academically. We've had a number of students who increased their performance from a level 1 to a level 2, which supports our overall growth rate. This chart highlights all students who demonstrated an increase in performance from 2023 to 2024, including students that moved from a level 1 to a level 2. So again, some notable improvements. In grade 4 to 5, actually 40% of our students showed an increase. And in grade 6 to 7, actually 26% of our students showed an increase. So not all of them are proficient yet, but they are growing. So before we transition into the ELA results, I just want to talk about some of the initiatives that the district has related to supporting our math improvements. So we contribute our math growth to a variety of initiatives and are continuing to expand these initiatives as we progress through this current school year. Students in grades K through 12 engage with IXL learning on a weekly basis to work on closing gaps and achieving mastery on grade level standards. We've been using this program since the 2020-21 school year and have seen some incredible growth in classrooms throughout the district. Last year, our elementary school adopted a new math program, Envision Math. As with anything new, mastery of implementation takes time. Teachers are working hard to balance grade level instruction with supporting students who are not yet on grade level. We have a dedicated 80-minute daily instructional block for math. Within this block, teachers use a combination of whole group and targeted small group instruction to teach their lessons and provide additional time for math fact practice. Additionally, there is a 40-minute intervention and enrichment block scheduled into the day, and teachers may use that time for small group or center-based instruction in math or ELA. Our students also receive additional math support through our extended day program that focuses on fact fluency, or our elementary summer school program, Boost Academy. Our grades 7 and 8 math teachers are preparing to pilot 2 math programs to provide more cohesive instruction across grade levels. We hope to adopt a new program before the end of the school year. Our grades 7 and 8 students have access to an extended day program for drop-in support, and we are also in the process of designing a more targeted extended day program to support students who did not score within the proficient range on last year's state assessment. Students may also receive additional math support through our academic summer school program and math boot camp programs designed to prepare students as they transition into the next grade level. So at this time, we're going to shift our focus to our ELA results. So this chart compares the ELA proficiency rates of students in 2023. Again, that's the blue bar, with the proficiency rate of students in 2024, which is the golden colored bar. And again, as outlined, there were notable growth made in grade 3. We increased proficiency 18 points from 12 to 30%. Grade 6 increased proficiency by 17 points, rising from 20% to 37%. And grade 8 increased proficiency by 13 points, rising from 24% to 37%. And again, grade 6 is performing within 7 points of the state average for grade 6 ELA. Just like we did for math, we also, again, like to look at the proficiency rate of the same group of students as they travel from one grade level to the next. So again, just like we saw with math, if you look at, for example, grades 4 and 5, at the end of 4th grade in 2023, only 14% of those students were proficient in ELA. By the time they got to the end of 5th grade, we raised that proficiency rate to 26%. In grades 6 to 7, we saw another significant gain. The students left 6th grade with only 20% of the grade level being proficient, and by the end of grade 7, 30% of those students were proficient. And in grade 7, 25, they went from 25% at the end of grade 7 to 37% at the end of grade 8. So those are significant gains that we're seeing in proficiency as we watch the students move from grade level to grade level. And lastly, just as we did for math, this chart here is highlighting the overall growth students has made. So this includes the progress of any students that increased their performance level from a level 1 to 2, as well as any other students that increased a performance level. Again, notable highlights here are that grade 4 to 5, where we're seeing a lot of improvement. 24% of the students increased their scores, which actually increased our overall improvement rate to 15%. So we do have a number of ELA initiatives happening district-wide as well that we contribute to the growth that we are seeing. Again, just like in math, our students use IXL weekly, also in ELA. And in our elementary school, we adopted a new ELA program into reading in the 21-22 school year. Over the past few years, our teachers have been working to master implementation of this program and have identified areas of the program that need supplemental resources. As with math, our teachers are working hard to balance grade level instruction, but also working on closing gaps for students who are not yet at grade level. Like math, we have the 80-minute instructional block and the 40-minute intervention and enrichment block that teachers can use for extra time on task with math and ELA. Also, during that 40-minute block, identified students are pulled for reading intervention with a certified reading teacher. And the elementary school, also to support ELA as a whole, which includes reading and writing, they have a 40-minute writing block 3 times per week to provide dedicated time for writing instruction and implementation of our cursive program. Our reading teachers also push into the writing blocks on select grade levels to support writing instruction. Students might also receive additional ELA support through our extended day program. Some of you may know that as our high dosage tutoring program. And we also have our Summer School Boost Academy available to students. In grades 7 and 8, our teachers will be receiving professional development on the Understanding by Design framework, which emphasizes a stronger connection between assessment and instruction. And students have access to academic intervention services during the day, and we're also, and through an extended day drop-in program. And just like for math, we have academic summer school and an ELA boot camp program to help with transitions from the grade level to grade level. There's a number of other related initiatives, not necessarily specific to math or ELA, that are definitely supporting our growth overall as a district that I feel should be highlighted. So to support our youngest scholars, the district continues to invest in early learning. This year we expanded our pre-kindergarten program to 3 full-day classes that serve 54 students. We have also adopted 2 additional programs to support foundational literacy skills. The district is using Hegarty in our lower grades to teach phonemic awareness, and the University of Florida Literacy Program to teach phonics. Additionally, the district utilizes a variety of methods for monitoring student progress throughout the year. In the fall, winter, and spring, students in grades K through 12 participate in an IXL diagnostic snapshot to capture their current performance in math and ELA. Further, the elementary school teachers administer reading assessments in the fall, winter, and spring. Depending on their grade level, students are assessed using the decoding assessments in the Really Great Reading Assessment Suite, and students are also administered the DIBELS Oral Reading Fluency Assessment. The district also utilizes a multi-tiered system of support, some of you may know that as MTSS, to provide academic support plans to students identified as needing additional support in accessing the curriculum. These support plans have interventions aligned with the specific needs of the students and are monitored closely to measure their effectiveness. The district also has a fresh focus on instructional leadership and has expanded a team of administrators and teacher leaders who collaborate regularly with central administration to ensure that our teachers and students have the resources they need to be successful. And lastly, the district is committed to the professional development of its staff. We offer a wide range of opportunities for staff throughout the year and are constantly looking for ways to expand our teachers' toolkit. This slide outlines some of our more recent offerings. As we begin to wrap up here, I just want to point out a few additional points of pride for the district. So, as we shared in a recent press release, we're proud to announce that Ellenville had the highest proficiency growth rate of all Ulster County schools. Many schools throughout the county were seeing, some schools had setbacks and some schools were only seeing single-digit increases such as 2 and 3%, or 2 or 3 percentage points, where we saw an 8 percentage point rising significantly above other schools within the county. Our proficiency growth rate also exceeds the growth rate for New York State's proficiency. So if you see here, the state average rate went from 46 to 54, which is smaller than our 8% increase that we saw. And lastly, we think it's important to see how Ellenville compares to schools with similar demographic profiles. In this case, the New York State Education Department has identified those schools as Monticello, Poughkeepsie, Liberty, Fallsburg, and Hannibal. When compared against schools with similar profiles, Ellenville is performing as well as or better than these schools. So in closing, I want to give a shout out to everyone who works in collaboration to support our school community. Each of these individuals play a critical role in supporting student outcomes. It cannot go without saying that the magic is happening inside of our classrooms, and the commitment to growth from our students and teachers is evident. We are proud of all of you and are excited to see where this year takes us. On our opening conference day, I closed our presentation to the staff with a simple request that I want to reiterate tonight. Work hard, be kind, and amazing things will happen. Thank you for celebrating this success with me this evening, and I can confidently and proudly say that Ellenville is rising.
Thank you very much. We're going to take questions, but just a comment, man. It's a real credit to our administration and our teachers. Teachers obviously working very hard. If we got #1 to the the increase in the scores, it shows what the teachers and staff are doing here and the job that's being done by all of everybody together. In order for that to be successful, everybody has to act in symmetry, and it's obvious that you guys are, and everybody is in this district. So kudos to everybody, the teachers, the staff, and the administration. Great job, guys, everybody. And the parents, yeah. I don't want to leave you out, William, I'm sorry.
Any other questions from the board?
From the board? Questions? John?
Scott could tell us that most of these come in smaller increments each year. I think we're on the right direction. I think you guys have done a tremendous job. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
Lisa Wiles.
So I do want to say that it has been a concerted effort on so many parts here to get where we are, and we're still working hard to make it better. But I would be remiss if I didn't say that every proposal that we brought to the board for professional development or additional time for students or programs, they've just been welcomed and received. And without that support of the board, we couldn't be where we are. So I'm very thankful, and I'm grateful to our families that are supporting us. I know with the media attention we get sometimes, it's very frustrating. It's not who we are. And let's remember that we're not just measuring our students based on our children based on one assessment. However, it's really nice to see. But we have great kids in Ellenville. We say it. They deserve the best. And we're just thankful and grateful that that's where we are. But I just wanted to thank the board because you have been supportive to all of us every time we ask you for something. And it shouldn't go without being acknowledged.
You got that, Willie? You all right? There you go. Thank you very much, Superintendent Wiles, and great job, Deputy Superintendent Kelly White.
Thank
The
you.
presentation was very informative. All right, we'll move on to board reports. For myself, I just want to remind everybody that the capital project vote is on December 3rd. No matter how you vote, please get out and vote. You know, we obviously the Board of Education supports this program. We cannot tell you how to vote. We're not going to, but we just encourage people to exercise their constitutional right to vote. So please do so and vote your conscience. And like we said earlier, this is not about any particular subject matter versus another subject matter. As you see from this presentation, athletics, academics, and the arts, they all have to work together. And it's certainly the trilogy, if you will, for everything that happens here in Ellenville. And we do, from time to time, get a bad rap, and it's unfounded and it's unfair because our parents and our caregivers that work in this community and have their kids come to school every day and continue to work with their children, you know, these results are a direct reflection on all of you and certainly on the district as a whole. So please keep up the good work and please get out and get the word out and exercise your right to vote. Other board members? Nobody? We'll move on to our student representative, Mr. Jack Henry.
Good evening. So for happenings and events, the Junior Senior High School Student Council sponsored their annual Thanksgiving food drive. The food was donated to 3 local food pantries in the area. Thank you to those who donated. The junior high band and chorus concert will perform their winter concert next week at 7 o'clock in the auditorium. This past Saturday was the Zone 9 Area All-State Festival in Suffern, New York. Congratulations to everybody who participated. On Friday, December 6th, the elementary PTO will host their Winter Wonderland from 5 to 8 p.m. All winter sports are officially underway. We're wishing the best of luck to all the teams this winter. Finally, for fundraisers, the class of 2026 finished their Gertrude Hawk fundraiser. The class of 2027 finished their Cinnabon fundraiser. Their class of 2028 finished the Apple Cider Donuts fundraiser. Class of 2029 finished the Krispy Kreme Donuts fundraiser. The music department finished their Krause Chocolate and Poinsettias fundraiser, and the Spanish Honor Society finished their Dysing's Bakery Pie fundraiser. And finally, the holidays are right around the corner, so the Blue Devils merchandise website has all kinds of hats, hoodies, and more. The link is tinyurl.com/ECSD merch, or you can use the QR code.
Thank you, Jack. John, I did bring a truck to pick up your Krispy Kreme order.
Listen,
And along
Jack,
with all the pies.
4 or 5 donut fundraisers in a month is not good for us.
I'm going to ask the board to indulge. The one person wanted to speak. They forgot to sign up, and if we would allow them to come to the podium, I don't think anybody would mind. No? Okay. Rebecca Roller, again, 3 minutes.
Hi, how are you? So my name is Rebecca Rivera Roller, and I just wanted to touch on the capital project. There's a couple parents who reached out to me with just some concerns, and I just wanted to address it because I kind of fit that demographic. I know there's a bit of a price tag that we're asking people to pay, and it's not easy for a lot of people. I'm one of those people that this price tag would have to have my family budget, but I really do think our youth, our children are really, really worth it. If not now, when? because these things are going to need to be addressed sooner or later, and later is going to be an even bigger price tag. And if we can't invest in our children and the future students of Ellenville, what else are we here to invest in? I think it's beyond just athletics or drama or music or even safety. I just think our community is worth it. And at some point, you know, everything comes with a price tag, and progress does come with a price tag, but I believe our community and our kids are worth it, and I wish more people would have shown up, but I'm here, and my children are not even in school anymore, so if I can make the time, everybody can make the time, and I just think that we really need to work together, even through the hard times, to make this work, because our kids are worth it, and I want people to walk into Ellenville and say, wow, just like my kids had done a whole bunch of time visiting other school districts, is wow, I wish we had that, and it's about time people come here and say, wow, I wish we had that. So I just really want everybody just to maybe think about it. I know it's hard, it is hard, but it's worth it. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Roller. Thank you very much. Move on to Superintendent Lisa Wiles.
So a few announcements this evening. On December 17th and February 18th, for the elementary school, there's going to be a half a day of school for students, full day for teachers for a professional development day. You'll be getting notification as soon as we get back from the Thanksgiving break, the parents will be. But please put that on your calendars, December 17th and February 18th. Important professional development to keep our work going. Mr. Napoli put a budget calendar out. It's hard to believe that we're going into the preparation for the budget for the 25-26 school year. Our budget meetings will start sometime in February. We're doing them at the regular board meetings now. So watch for those dates. They'll be posted on the website. We're waiting for a report to come out on December 1st from the state. It's coming from the Rockefeller Center. There's been a study done about foundation aid, which is the building block of all the state aid we receive for the educational programs in the school. They're talking about modifying that foundation aid formula, which is long overdue. However, we're concerned about what that's going to look like. So that report's going to be released in December, and we will have a full report to the board and the community. I had the opportunity last week to attend an event hosted by the Ulster County School Boards Association for the Distinguished Friend of Education, and this year our board had nominated Maud Bruce. She and her family and friends were in attendance, a well-deserved honor. It was a beautiful night, and I just wanted to report out that we did attend that event. And finally, just a happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for a lot. I'm sure we all are. There's still a lot of work to do. That was your 3 minutes, Rebecca. Just saying. But I really want to wish the community and the board and everyone else a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Move on to Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Vince Napoli.
Thank you. I have nothing to report, but I do have a public service announcement. If you have a license plate FFX 2380, your lights are on.
Is that a New York plate?
Vince has jumper cables.
Yeah. Deputy Superintendent Kelly White.
Good evening. I just want to make the board and the community aware that there are 2 resolutions on the agenda tonight to improve our school, approve our school improvement plans. Each building had a team of stakeholders work to develop plans, and the goals within these plans are aligned with increasing proficiency on our math and ELA assessments and also decreasing our chronic absenteeism rate. There's a number of initiatives that if the plans are approved that are related to these plans that will require board approval. I've outlined some of them in my board report, and we'll continue to inform you as we're ready to move into working on approval towards those. Additionally, I do want to share that there is an attendance report, an attendance section now available on our district website, and every month we'll be reporting our average daily attendance rate by grade level. So our current chronic absenteeism rate is about 27%. Last year our chronic absenteeism rate was 47%. So we're looking good at the moment. I know it's still early in the school year, but both of our buildings are running some pretty solid attendance initiatives to continue to promote students to come to school daily. And we also currently have a district-wide attendance media contest happening that I believe wraps up around December 13th, where students can create a poster, a video, or write an essay about the importance of daily attendance. So both buildings have put information out about that.
Thank you. Move on to Assistant Superintendent for Personnel, Curriculum, and Instruction Support, Scott Prokosh.
Thank you. I do not have any items this evening.
Kelly took all your time. You yielded it. And move on to personnel resolutions for this evening. Under 6.1, upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that the appointment of Amanda Cruz, teacher aide, be made permanent following successful probationary period effective December 2nd, 2024.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.2, permanent appointment. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved the appointment of Jody Etzel, teacher aide, be made permanent following. It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Permanent appointment 6.3, upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved the appointment of Cecilia Reyes, teacher aide, be made permanent following.
So moved.
Been
Second.
moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.4, leave of absence and resignation. That's weird. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved that Iola Irwin's request for an extended unpaid leave of absence be granted effective October 1st, 2024 through October 23rd, 2024. Be it further resolved that the resignation of Iola Irwin as teacher aide be accepted for the purposes of retirement effective October 24th.
So moved.
Been moved?
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Teacher aide resignation. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved the resignation of Susan Conklin as teacher aide be accepted for the purposes of retirement effective November 27,
moved.
2024. Second. Moved. Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.6, teacher aide appointment. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that Clara Kane be appointed to a 1.0 full-time equivalent teacher aide position.
So moved.
It's been
Second.
moved.
Second.
It looks like, okay, Sierra Kane, correction. Has been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 6.7, teacher aide appointment. Be resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools that Jennifer Hernandez be appointed as 1.0 full-time equivalent teacher aide position at a contractual rate of $28,137.
So moved.
Been moved. Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.8, January Regents Review.
Motion to move the list.
Second.
List has been moved and seconded. Discussion? Jody?
I see there's a couple that are not filled as of right now. What are we doing if they do we have anybody in mind if they don't get filled?
We're working on it right now. We're working on filling those, hopefully by the December 10th meeting.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.9, home tutor. On the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved that Mark Schoonmaker be appointed for home tutoring for the 24-25 school year. Been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.10, co-curricular personnel.
Motion to move the list.
List has been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? One abstention. Danny McQuillan. 6.11, elementary school extended day program. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be resolved that the attached list has been moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.2, volleyball intramural resignation. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be resolved the resignation of Sarah Kraft for the volleyball elementary intramural
So moved.
program be accepted. Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.13, intramural sports. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved the following individuals be approved for intramural sports for the 24-25
Move the
school year.
list.
The list has been moved and seconded. Discussion. Mr. Burns.
Yes, I'd like to reiterate my concern that we shouldn't be using the intramural program by varsity coaches to recruit varsity athletes for their teams. That should be done at a much lower level and continue working up. And I just have a concern about that, especially since our numbers, while they've been improving, are still low. I think we need to make more of an effort to do that at the lower levels.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.14, election inspectors. Upon the recommendation, superintendent of schools.
Motion to move the list.
List has been moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.15, winter sports coaches. Upon the recommendation, superintendent of schools, be resolved the following winter sports coaches be approved for the
Move the list.
24-25. The list has been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.16, create 1.0 FTE. Upon the recommendation, superintendent of schools, be resolved that a 1.0 full-time equivalent teacher for English to speakers of other languages position be created
So
and
moved.
approved. And it's been
Second.
moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.17, substitute personnel. Upon the recommendation, superintendent of schools, be resolved the following substitute personnel be appointed for the 24-25 school year. Such appointments are contingent upon the district
So
receiving.
moved.
It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 6.18, memorandum of agreement. Upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, be resolved the memorandum of agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and the ETS RPA Teachers Unit be approved as attached. It has been moved
Second.
and seconded. Discussion. John.
Is this contingent upon numbers, or are we just putting it in? Because last year, we had difficulty on at least one of these sports. And so, are we doing this contingent upon numbers, or are we just appointing it?
I think we're just creating them.
The positions are just being created according to the superintendent. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 6.19, professional development, collaborative planning time for E&L. Be it resolved that the superintendent of school is authorized to approve up to 20 hours of professional development for collaborative planning times for elementary TESOL and classroom teachers who teach ELA
So
and
moved.
math. It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion
Abstain.
carried. And one abstention, Mr. Burns. I will move on to budget resolutions. Anybody
Mr.
want to move
President,
them?
move 7.1 through 7.3.
It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? We'll move on to 8.0 education resolutions for this evening. Under student IEPs, be it resolved that the attached list of student IEPs be acknowledged as appropriate. There are 77.
Move them. Second.
List is moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 8.2 school comprehensive educational plan.
Mr. President, move 8.2 and 8.3.
Second.
8.2 and 8.3 have been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Volunteers. Resolve the following volunteers be approved for the 24-25 school year. There are 4.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
Mr. President, I'd just like to extend my gratitude to these volunteers.
So noted. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Construction resolutions. Anyone
Mr.
want to
President,
move it?
move 9.1 through 9.5.
9.1 to 9.5 have been
Second.
moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Under other this evening.
Motion to move 10-1 to 10-8.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars for the next meeting. Will be December 10th, 2024. Do we have to have a special meeting after the vote?
We don't, I don't know. Do we have to have a special meeting after the vote? To accept
To accept the results?
we
Should
usually
we
do
find
that
out
on
from
the
the
third?
attorney?
We'll find out.
We'll
And if we
find
do
out and
have
stand
it,
by.
It'll be a special meeting, just a few minutes after the vote, like we do for the budget.
So absent that, the next regular meeting will be December 10th, 2024. And we will be calling a special 5-minute meeting to accept bids on December 17th. I will get together with all of you to find a more convenient time so we can at least have a quorum for that, for the windows. Other than that, we, on behalf of the board, like to wish everybody a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving. And we'll see you after the break. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, moved and seconded discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. We're adjourned.
I don't know what it is